I'm multi-decider Sadiq, and now see my guest, Ajiman Apia Kubi. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Tisi.
Let me begin with how you felt when you were announced as the running mate for the great GFP party.
First of all, thank you, and I would like to acknowledge the entire staff of GTV. When Madam Akufo-Addo called, she actually called me, I think 2 months ago, that she would like us to discuss something. So I asked her, Ma, what is it about? So, let me talk about that. I said, okay. So she came to DLFM, and we sat, and she said, oh, last 4 years she ran with senior Adakabre as a running mate, but this time around it seems Adakabre is very busy and doing one or two things. So she sat with him, and they made it clear that, okay, he should get in touch with me if he feels if only she prefers media personality to be her running mate, she should talk to me, and he believes I will accept it. And so when she said that, I said, okay, if it's from Senior Most and Adakabre from NAPO FM, I think I will consider that of that decision. And I accepted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the second media person in this particular election, the, Afafranto, the media person from Pan-African TV is also the running mate to Mr. Alan Tremanting, and then you as well. Sure. What do you think this means for people in your craft?
I think it's an honor and opportunity as well, and it shows the kind of respect that this politician do have for us. Yeah.
Okay. People would want to know, what do you do aside from, I know you manage Daddy Lumba. Do you still manage him?
I normally feel uncomfortable when people do tell me that I manage Lumba. Okay. I prefer people saying this Lumba's boy or Lumba's PA. You understand, yeah, because Lumba's caliber, you understand, started music way back 1989. Where was I? You understand, completed job in secondary school in 1985. I was, I think, 5 years then. You understand? So I tell it to be a privilege, not that quote, being Lumba's manager. I don't feel comfortable when people do address me as such, yeah.
Let's get a window into your life, and so that we understand why you're so modest and you feel uncomfortable to be called Lumba's manager. Tell us about you. Where did you grow up, and, have you always liked politics?
If I answer from the latter, naturally I'm somebody that I don't like politics.
Okay.
Yeah, I like politics, but when it comes to be conserved, that's the reason why I accepted in the first place. But nobody was born to be a politician, and there's no school that teaches politics. You understand? Yeah. So that made me accepted that. So back to your question, my real name is Philip Apia Kubi, or Kwabena Ajiman. But in the media industry, I think my real name is even lost because of the name Roman Fada. That's what I use on radio, both at Nka FM as their drive time host and DLFM 106.9 as their morning show host. Yeah. So currently I work with DLFM as their morning show host and afternoon at Nka drive time host. Yeah.
Where did you grow up, and how did you get into the media?
I grew up at Accra, Newtown. Born in 1984, November, 12:30 p.m. I'm a Tuesday born. My late father goes by the name, the late Thomas Apia, could be a businessman, and my mom, who just turned 70 years last month, she resided at Malawi Junction. Yeah.
So from a very humble background.
Yeah, I'm from my mom from a Jusujwabi, my late dad from Burkina. I'm 100% Ashanti.
Right.
Yeah, I attended St. John's Bansomora Institute, from there to St. John's Primary, St. John's GSS, Accra High School, 97 to 99, and then from there to Manifold, that was in 2000. Then from there to Kumasi to have my attachment with Radio Mercury in 2002. So from Mercury 2002 to Sika FM 2009. Then from 2014, that Tobinco set up this radio station at Nka FM. Then they brought me from Kumasi to Accra. Yeah, that was in 2014, and we started 2015. And then, as I used to work with Lumba, still working with Lumba, he set up a radio station, DLFM 106.9. So from DLFM in the morning, then straight to, I think, FM. So, you know.
Amazing. So how long have you known Madam Akufo-Addo, and what about your background gives you the qualities that you feel you can use to lead this country as the second most important man of the land?
I've known Madam Akufo-Addo when I was in Kumasi, Radio Mercury 2002, when I came to when I came to Sika FM 2009 till date. So I've known Madam Akufo-Addo for more than, let's say, 20 years. Or if I could make it clear, 22 years. Yeah.
Have you always been a member of the GFP?
I'll say I've been a fan.
Okay.
Yes.
You've been a fan of
yes.
the GFP. Okay, that's it about your life. We will be showing some videos about what's currently happening. You heard that organized labor had instructed that workers lay down their tools today. There's been the demonstrations that's been going on and on about Galamsey and the destruction of our water bodies. Ghana Water Company issuing notices about water shortages in parts of central region. I've sat with the Ghana Agriculture Workers Union, and they've said that about 2.6 million hectares of land has been lost to Galamsey cocoa farms. This is the current state of our water bodies. Sure. I'm sure you've seen the Pra, you've seen the Benso River. What is the GFP going to do about Galamsey, about illegal mining? How do you feel about the current state of our water?
First of all, I think this is not only problem that Ghana is facing with regards to Galamsey. We all know that Galamsey has been there in the past, you understand, and I think the current state of Galamsey, honestly, is very bad and it's very problematic. Besides, we are all witnessing this kind of, I don't know whether I should call it water or I should call it squash or drink. I mean, it's very bad. And our leader, Excellency Akufo-Addo, if you should read our manifesto.
Yes, you launched a manifesto recently.
Yeah, we did that 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I can even give you a copy.
Right, thank you. Okay.
If you go through, we dwell on how to curb Galamsey and dealing with corporates. Yeah. If I should quote, Galamsey has become the talk of the town, as we are really discussing right away. This illegal miners, we all know the reason. I remember Speaker of Parliament a month ago made it clear. I mean, he was bold enough to make it clear that this NDC MPP should, stop Galamsey. It's from their end. And if they can put a stop to it, I mean, it will help us.
On January, in January after the December polls, and you win the GFP, what are you going to do about corporates? You said dealing with corporates. What will you be doing?
I mean, it's a matter of educating our youth in terms of this Galamsey thing. If there's employment, I don't think the youth will dwell on Galamsey. Okay. You understand? There are a lot of things that you do to curb Galamsey.
So do you agree with the Speaker that some political actors are involved in Galamsey, and how do you intend to deal with them?
Well, I think with his position, I know that the Speaker will not just open his mouth and pass that comment. You understand? We will deal with them if the necessary demands.
Okay. So what will be the alternative for the youth who are in Galamsey, who are destroying the thousands and thousands of hectares of land? Cocoa used to be something very valuable in Ghana, but now if they are toppling all cocoa lands into Galamsey and it's spoiling our water bodies, what?
I think they need to be educated, and if you are patriotic and nationalistic, you're not even dwelling into that.
Now, what will you eat? You're educated. You know the harmful effects. You can see the mercury and the cyanide causing harm to unborn babies, giving them, disformities and all of that.
That's why I made it clear that if you are patriotic, you know that you not even think about your own. You think for others as well. You understand? Because going for Galamsey or doing Galamsey, the money comes to your pocket, doesn't come to someone else. So if they are work, you understand? If they are work, I don't think they will dwell in Galamsey.
Okay.
You understand?
Madam Ekua-Adonkor has been an avid cocoa farmer for a long time, and she's always talked about agriculture and pushing local production. What's the agenda for agriculture going to look like with the GFP?
I think it will be very attractive because way back at school, even when we go to school, maybe you do something that is very bad, you'll be punished, you'll be told to weed, and we've termed that to be punishment. You understand? And I don't think that thing, we need to put a stop to it. Because the children feels that if you are giving colors to weed, you are being punished. Okay. You understand? So you recall that when we are at school, you'll be asked maybe what you want to become. There's nobody who will say, I want to become a farmer. All that we do say, I want to be a journalist, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, pilot, blah, blah, blah. Which we do take out farming because of how we've been treated way back at school. I think it's still there. When a student does something wrong, then we find him or her colors to go and weed. So it has... it generated in our mind that farming is something that is very bad.
How do you feel about what Ghana had to go through with the Ukraine and Russia war and COVID-19, and even when the coup happened in Niger and they couldn't import onions and it looked like there was a looming food crisis? What's the approach going to be like from the GFP, depending on outside imports for food?
I think I quite remember we do complain during the COVID, so the countryside, blah, blah, everything we passed an excuse with Ukraine, Russian war, blah, blah. Recently, I think Zelensky, our president met Zelensky, and we were rather asking him how to do farming. You understand? Which is, I mean, it's quite a shame. Because during the COVID, everything, even being clear with hardship in Ghana, everything, we put blame on Russia, Ukraine. How does Russia-Ukraine war got to do with Ghana?
They import wheat to Ghana for bread.
Good. So why from that end? Russia, Ukraine. But the same Ghanaian people met Zelensky, begging him about how to help us improve our agriculture. So where from all this? Okay,
are you going to also call on people to impart knowledge on Ghanaians on how to farm for ourselves? Is there something like that? Being Ekua-Adonkor, being a running mate, who is a farmer, a professional farmer, we are going to do all that. We are going to dwell on agriculture. Okay. Yeah. Now she's a cocoa farmer. What's the protective mechanism for cocoa farmers with what's happening with Galamsey, and how it seems the cocoa farmers, family and children no longer benefit as Dr. Nkrumah had made it, when cocoa was being done in a wholesome manner? I remember recently, I think a bag of cocoa we sold, I think 3,000 or 5,000 or so. Okay. I think 3,000. I think 3,000. And with Ekua-Adonkor, she intend, improving cocoa farmers' standard of living. Because she has dwelled in cocoa farming for a long period of time. And I believe she knows how to manage when it comes to cocoa farming, for the farmers to be very happy, as you already cited example with our first president. Let me throw in industrialization there. What's going to happen with industrialization to boost our economy? The factories that people keep clamoring for that would give the team millions of unemployed and idle youth jobs. I think with the industrialization, I believe that Ghana Freedom Party, if you try to bring down taxes, to improve the private sectors to create more jobs for the youth. Okay. Which I believe we've dwelled on this. Yesterday we had a discussion on this, that in case Ghanaians give us a mandate, the taxes are too much, and it does not even encourage the private sector to set up more jobs for the youth to engage in it. So we are going to dwell on that. Okay. And then the betting tax, since you were talking about taxes, the youth have been going at it, and a 10% increase in the returns, what they get. I think not the betting alone. We're going to do away with the betting tax, and in addition with the e-levy. You are going to get rid of the e-levy exactly. Tax. Okay. One time. Right. Yes, we are going to do that. And with the betting levy, if you scrap it, don't you feel like a lot of youth, in other African countries, a lot of youth have left school and they are in heavy betting centers, heavy gambling crisis? They do it for fun. If you go, once they do that, they don't go for stealing. For fun. They don't go for stealing. They don't pick guns. Yes, but a lot of them end up owing a lot of money because they have to gamble. I see nothing wrong with that.
is far better than picking up guns and cutlasses to attack people.
Yes.
So I see nothing wrong with that. And with the e-levy, it's very annoying. Very, very annoying. The tax on you send money to somebody and then a percentage will be deducted.
Okay.
And what are those taxes used for?
As government has said that it's an effort to raise the taxes,
so
to create revenue,
what are those taxes
to be able to boost the economy, to be able to create more
and so how is the economy now sitting?
More factories.
So how is the economy
that's how government services.
I'm asking, so how is the economy doing
now?
So apart from getting all this, what is the next line of action? I'm asking you. I'll send money to my mom to be deducted. She also sent it to somebody to be deducted. So what are those revenue used for?
So how will you raise revenue? How will GFP raise revenue for the country?
There are so many ways of raising revenue, not basically based on betting and e-levy or whatever. There are a lot of, we pay taxes. Yeah. Okay. So there are a lot of companies, we pay taxes. So does it mean that if we don't involve ourselves in betting tax or e-levy, blah, 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 we can't manage the economy?
So as time goes on, you're not even going to adjust taxes?
No.
At any point in time?
No, based on what my flag bearer has made it clear. You want Ghanaians to have their liberty, to have their freedom.
Okay. How is the economy going to thrive without increment of taxes, though?
No. I'm not saying it's not going to be entirely that. I mean, but it will be a gradual process.
Right.
Not on everything, then, there should be tax on. You understand?
Okay.
Not on every...
How about foreign direct investments as well, calling for, public-private partnerships? Governments have called for, foreigners to come in and set up companies and then, employ people. While Ghanaians say that the tax amnesty they give to some of these foreign companies is a lot more than they do for Ghanaian-owned local businesses. Are you, Madam Akufo-Addo, going to partner with foreigners?
We are going to have an equal share on that. Because Ghanaians should rather enjoy rather than outsiders, rather than foreigners. That's the reason why when a foreigner set up a business, it booms. But you can ask yourself, when a local person set up a company, you understand, then it gets faded away simply.
Okay. What about planting for food and jobs, rearing for food and jobs, agriculture in general? What are the aspects that you are thinking is not working well and so you will improve upon as a party?
Like I said, we have the advantage, being that our flag bearer happens to be a farmer, you understand, and on that regards, I'll ensure Ghanaians that for that one, they are really safe when it comes to farming.
Okay. Let's talk about education now, because you're saying that in school, when they farm, it seems like it's a punishment, but it shouldn't be. Are you overhauling the educational curriculum, the current educational system? How is it looking for the GFP?
I'll say for now, it's not bad, but when we come, like I said earlier, if you should go through our manifesto, there'll be free compulsory quality education. Okay. You understand, from crèche to the university.
From crèche to university, free compulsory education.
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you going to support that sector? How will you cater for that sector?
Oh, we can. We have a lot of resources. If you could ask our politicians way back, they used to go to free university free of charge.
Okay.
Way back, you can ask. Yeah, there was free university, and they were even eating a lot of chicken. And later on, they came out that they were demonstrating that they were eating chicken too much. So you can imagine. And we can do it. Because the ability to see trouble ahead and to plan for it is a mark of a sensible businessman. So if way back our forefathers used to go to university free of charge, they even demonstrated against eating too much chicken. So why now?
Okay. Others have said that Ghana's educational curriculum needs to be more practical than theoretical. Is this something that you are thinking about doing something about?
Yeah. I do side with them, because you may see a graduate completed university, he can't even fix Bob. You understand? It's all about chew and pour. Okay. Without doing the practical thing. So he said the moment he or she finishes education, he can't even do nothing.
I see. How about trained teachers, nurses? What is it going to be like for teachers? Are there any incentives? Are there things to cushion them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we have plans for teachers, because if they are not there, our students can't be who we want them to become.
One of our colleagues recently did a story from the Volta region where, students have to cross water bodies to get to the classrooms, and the teachers were complaining of lack of infrastructure, housing, accommodation.
Not even that alone. I think Eastern region, one teacher, one teacher teaches from class 1 to class 6.
Yes, in Adan, that was a situation as well. The ratio of teacher to pupil.
Even where the student to say there's a problem. And surprisingly, one teacher teaches from class 1 to class 6. I mean, how on earth? Just Eastern region here. It's very sad. And I believe when the nod is given to Her Excellency Akufo-Addo, one thing about Akufo-Addo that people doesn't know, she's not having a classmate. She has never been in class before, not even crèche or nursery or whatever. But see where she wants to carry the country to. Such person needs to be given the nod. And I look at her on-course school, that only classmate. And surprisingly, see where she is.
Okay.
So I think she understands education, and she'll do it better.
Let's talk about health for a bit as well. What is the plan for health?
With health, I think it's very sad in Ghana here that when maybe there's an emergency, either Kolebu or Comfort-Noche, how are the state doing? You understand? 16 regions. I mean, they need to get equal right or equal opportunities. Accra here, Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Kumasi, which even recently, Otumfo or Asiedu is trying to even renovate. So I think when we come, we will try to set up quality health centers every region.
How about cost of medical care?
We're going to take care of that. Because once we are able to set up the hospital itself, there's nothing wrong with taking care of medical care. We are going to do that.
On that, there's mass exodus of our health professionals and people, essential staff, who are leaving this country for greener pastures because they say the system is not working for them. When a lot of youth are going on dangerous routes.
Not even the doctors alone. Yeah, if you could visit Kotoka International Airport, let's try to pay excursion this evening around 7 o'clock or around, let's say, 8 p.m. You see people traveling.
How do we solve this? How do you as GFP solve this problem?
I think it's a matter of Ghana Freedom Party. We are ready to solve issues that because we've learned from the past governments. And this has been existent for 16 years, and NPP 16 years, 32 years. And we've seen this kind of issues that our youth are facing. And we have the alternative to make them happy.
GFP has gone at this for a while, even before Chede's, movements came. Alan Cash broke away from MPP and has formed his own party. And the likes of GUM, who have already been around, GCPP. What makes Ghana Freedom Party the one?
Honestly speaking, Her Excellency Akufo-Addo stands tall among them. You feel she has Ghana at heart. You understand? She is a mother that understands Ghana. If you compare Akufo-Addo to Alan Shomati and Cheda, I mean, she stands tall.
I see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about maternal health. You say in your manifesto that there shall be a 1-year maternity leave for all working mothers. Sure. All male employees shall also be entitled to the first 3 months of their wife's maternity leave. The Employment Act shall be revised to cater for this. Why is this paramount to your manifesto?
Yeah, like I said, Her Excellency Akufo-Addo, she's a mother, and she understands how what women go through when they are pregnant, during a pregnancy. And if you realize that, for instance, you're working at GTV. If you should give birth now, you'll be given maybe 1 month or 2 months maternity leave. And she feels that it is not enough. At least you should be given 1 year so that you can take good care of your child. And then your husband as well, 3 months to support you. So that's the reason why we brought in this for our women to feel comfortable. Yeah, because, I mean, for you to take care of your baby very well before he or she matured. So that's the reason why Excellency chipping this, which I think the women should embrace it in Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're watching our sit-down on Manifesto Watch with the Ghana Freedom Party. I've been speaking to Ajiman Apeakubi. He's a running mate of the party, and he's telling us what he and Madam Akufo-Addo will be doing to, you know, transform Ghana. We've talked about education. We've talked a bit about Galamsey, and we're talking about health now. Let's move away from health, though. Employment avenues. When we talk about incentivizing young people, you know, to work because of the teeming unemployed youth. If they're starting up their businesses, they need business capitals, they need loans. What's the approach?
Well, it's very simple. Like I said, a lot of natural resources, you understand, and with regards to that, we're working on it, trying to give out loans to people who are willing to work. I remember we were having a meeting at Adabraka. Her Excellency saw a young man at age, I think 20, 25, selling coconut. She rather approached him and then had a conversation with him. And he's so happy that she's doing this and that. You'd be surprised that she gave him capital to work, which I think we are going to work on that. It's not going to be an issue.
How about interest?
Interest?
Yes, on these loans or monies that you'll be given, because that seems to be what is crippling for a lot of young businesses.
Well, once he or she is trying to set up a business, I mean, we need to minimize the interest. It's not going to be as high as somebody who's already in the game, who is booming his or her business. Like I said, we make people feel comfortable and happy. Okay.
The other, begging question on the minds of a lot of Ghanaians is Ghana's debt crisis. Over 700 billion Ghana cedis of loans and its bearing on the economy. What will you do about the current loans when you assume office, if you do win? And will you still be going back to the IMF and the World Bank?
Madam Akufo-Addo made it clear that we will not go to IMF because we have everything here in the country. Like she said, and I'm in support of her mission and vision as well. I don't think we'll be going to the IMF. And with regards to the 700 billion loan, right? There's no country in Ghana here, and there's no country in the world who is not owing. Even America, you do owe. So I think we are going to serve the loan gradually by using our taxes.
Okay.
Use our taxes to, be paying a little bit of the amount that we owe. So we'll be serving the taxes as well. We are not just going to leave it. We'll be serving the debt, rather. Yeah.
You'll be servicing the debt with our taxes. That's what and you're not increasing the taxes. I'm going back to your earlier statement.
No.
You're not increasing any taxes. You're going to use the current tax. Are you widening the net? Like how are you?
Titi.
Because you have development projects to do as well with the same taxes in the districts.
Ghana is blessed. Ghana is really blessed. It's very sad. Ghana is really blessed. Okay. You have natural resources, blah, blah, blah. So how can we owe such? What do we use the money for? That's the reason when you chip in by saying that this bet and then e-levy will do blah, blah, blah. So when the e-levy wasn't in existence, what were we doing?
Okay. The banking sector, there are people who are calling that the banks which were collapsed and the microfinances which were collapsed should be revived. Your presidential candidate partner, Papua-Addo, at some point in her political career, his GN Bank is also one of them. What's the plan?
I think with that, it's very sad if you find out the reason why it was being collapsed. The reason wasn't even enough. You remember, I think recently Papua-Addo met former president, who happens to be the flag bearer for NDC, and they had a discussion on this. I think I was having a discussion with Akufo-Addo with regards to this bank that has been collapsed, and what she said was, it's quite funny though what she said. Didn't say a collapse. So even what they even did will even affect the economy more. It will even cause unemployment. Because if you don't
think there should have been sanctions? If they weren't meeting certain criteria, regulations, certain thresholds,
I think
their
by the way
licenses were revoked.
I mean, come on, they've been in existence for, so how did they go there in the first place?
I'm sure you also heard about lots of customers who had issues like NAM1, and then their monies have been locked up in men's gold.
How did they get there in the first place? The men's gold, they were working. I think the reason I heard Namens have been interviewed, making it clear that what was being cancelled, what happened to him, I think that same process, the Ghana Commercial Bank is doing the same thing. I don't know. I heard him saying
those are allegations thrown in the air.
I'm just checking it, as I'm saying.
Okay.
I heard, he was being interviewed.
Let me move to corruption now, since we are talking about NAM1 and the banking sector, because I'm sure people would want to know what you do about that. Shraj has said that about 2.6 trillion is lost to corruption. I'm sure you've heard of the scandals that have happened in the past. The recent one was the Airbus bribery scandal, but the former President John Dramani Mahama was cleared by the special prosecutor. You've heard of the ambulance purchasing saga, the PDS scandal, Japan royalties. Still, what are you going to do about corruption under your government or in your government?
I think if I make it clear, when it gets to corruption, Akufo-Addo, should be taking number one. And like I said, so an example with corruption with the Airbus, it wasn't through. And what was the name?
The former president?
The former president. It was an allegation.
Okay.
Even though there's corruption everywhere, with the Ghana Freedom Party, I said that Ghanaians, you have an assurance in us.
That you what? When you catch corrupt officials under you, what will you do?
I mean they'll be punished. I need not to answer this.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, every money that they've been squandered, they need to, refund it. Yeah.
Finally, let's talk about the creative arts. I can't let you leave without talking about that, because that's your forte, since you're in communications and, you manage brands as well. So tell us about the creative arts. What's the plan and the agenda for the creative arts?
Yes, there are some countries that do benefit when they do, and if they do understand the art and the creativity of the people very well. There are a lot of income that can be generated. You understand? We have 10 solid plans for the creative art industry.
10 solid plans?
Yes.
Okay. And what does it entail?
No. It's not in the manifesto here.
Okay.
It's not in the manifesto.
But can you give us like a brief summary? We have the content creators, musicians, and you're an artist manager as well. What would be better for them when you come into power?
I think, what we lack here is our recreational centers. You understand? So you try to involve stakeholders to get it in part, and then respect our celebrities as well.